Welcome everyone. Today I wanted to make my spicy pork ragu dish. This is one of our pantry staples that we go to a lot because all of these ingredients we normally have here at the house. This is a recipe that I originally got from the Lucky Peach cookbook, and I've kind of adapted it here and there to kind of make it suit towards the taste of our house. And so I really wanted to make this for you guys because it is a fun and simple dish. So we have a couple different elements here that we're gonna go over. I'm gonna kind of start at the beginning or at the end and work my way to the beginning for you. So we have our toppings here at the end, which is just some white scallions cut up on a bias, green parts only, a little bit of the Korean red pepper flakes. We have our fresh ramen noodles, which we always have in the house just because they freeze so well and they're so tasty. Feel free to use any kind of dried noodle that you want for this dish though, whatever works best for you. We have a pound of ground pork, 1 white onion chopped, a little bit of rice bran oil for cooking, and we have about 3 cloves of chopped garlic. Now we have the sauce, which I'm going to kind of go over with you as I make it. We have a 1/4 cup of water, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. We have about 2 tablespoons of gochujang, which is a fermented Korean red pepper paste. All of that there. Then we have about a teaspoon and a half, sorry, of Sichuan peppercorns that are ground up. We have about a tablespoon more of the Korean red pepper flakes. If you guys can't find this or don't have it, regular red pepper flake will work just fine. Then we have a teaspoon each of salt and pepper. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and mix this all up into a fine paste. You gotta kind of mix it for a little bit to break up that gochujang. It's still gonna be a little bit clumpy, but that's all right because you're gonna end up putting the onions after it's cooked in here, and you can really kind of break everything up then. Like I said, there's gonna be a little bit of clumping there still, but that's not a huge deal because it'll get broke up later. So now that we have our sauce done, now we're gonna take our onions and our oil, we're gonna head over to the stove and we're gonna get these guys cooked up. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put our saute pan on medium to medium high heat. I keep it kind of lower towards medium. We're gonna start with doing a pretty good splash of our rice bran oil. If you don't have rice bran oil, you can use any other neutral oil you want. And then we're going to put in our onions. And what we're looking for here when we saute our onions is just to get them, we just want to get them translucent. We don't necessarily want color on them. So we're only going to let these things go for about 5-6 minutes until they start to turn that light translucent opaque color. Then once they're done, we're going to move them into our bowl with our sauce that we just made. All right, so now that our onions are done and they are resting in the sauce, now we're going to go ahead and start our pork. I've wiped out the same skillet that we used for the onions. I'm going to add a little bit more oil to it. We don't need a whole lot. And now we're going to add in our pork. We're just looking to get this pretty much all the way cooked through. We're gonna break it up. We're gonna kind of keep breaking it up as we cook, get it down into little bits. And then as we get closer to the end, now that's when we're gonna add in the garlic. So we will show you that in just a few minutes. Okay, so now our pork is about 95% of the way done. So I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of push it all to one side. I'm gonna tilt the skillet. Now you're gonna see all of the fat is gonna run off into the corner here. We'll let that cool up for kind of a second. And then now, once that happens, we're gonna take our garlic and we're gonna throw that right into that fat. Get that in there. Now you're only gonna let this go for just a few quick seconds, really just until it starts to get fragrant. And it's at this point in time that I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna drop my ramen noodles. Because I'm using fresh, they're only gonna take a couple minutes to cook. If you're using dried noodles, use the package recommendations for how long it takes. Okay, so now these are done. I'm gonna kill the heat. And now I'm gonna add back our onions and sauce. And now we're gonna give this just a good stir, make sure everything gets mixed in together. As you put everything together with the garlic and all the chili, it's gonna get really fragrant. All right, so now that we have everything done, we have our pork and onions and sauce all nice together in here. I went ahead and I plated up my 2 bowls of ramen noodles, since I do, you know, let my camera lady, you know, eat with me on these. So we're just gonna go ahead and scoop some of our mixture on here. You wanna get a nice, good mix on top. Do that on both. Okay, and now we're just going to take a little bit of our Korean pepper flakes. Just give it a little bit on top. And then chopped scallions. And just our chopsticks, and we are all set. And there you go, spicy Asian pork ragu. Enjoy.